everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do a review on my Evo Sport Smartcap. Alright, first thing, and probably the biggest reason why we went with this Evo Sport is the windows here. I have two dogs. Big part of our lives. We come actually to this spot here pretty much daily to let them run wild, so they are always in the back of this thing, and we go a lot of places with them, go camping, stuff like that. So having a dedicated place for the dogs, keep them out of the cab of the truck, keep their hair, which they both shed a lot, out of the truck, and keep that area clean for us and for our child was really important to us. So that is a big reason why we went with the Smartcap Evo Sport. The other Smartcap, there's another one out there that has basically a all metal construction. Doesn't have the window, but it does have the gull wing doors. That wasn't really going to work for how we use it. So yeah, this was a much better Smartcap for our lifestyle. And let me show you how I let these dogs out right now. One there, wait. And they are going to rage when I open this. There he goes. And there you have it. So that's the first point that I wanted to bring up, was the reason why we went with the Smartcap, especially the Evo Sport, was because of these windows that they have on the side. I know that there are other toppers out there that have windows that you can add on to them. So I'll go into the other reason why we went with the Smartcap versus other toppers, but yeah, I would say one of the first things is because of the included windows on the Evo Sport. I use a Smartcap daily, and so far there have been no faults, no leaks. Dust does not get into this either. It's a really robust system, and it does a really good job of keeping its value. So as you can see, it actually looks pretty brand new. I would say that some things that I am noticing are some paint chips. This was actually my fault. I rubbed something against that. And then up around here, you can see the paint is chipping, so I need to go ahead and fix that. And then one more thing I'm noticing now is the actual adhesive is chipping here. Other than that, I would say it is in pretty much new condition. And it has a 3-year warranty as well, so I think I'm just about to pass that if I haven't already, but that's important too. So if you get any leaks within 3 years, make sure that you check that out. Hit them up. They have great customer service. You can even reach out to them on Instagram. I've done that, and they've provided me all kinds of support. So yeah, anyway, really durable product, and I would say it's a great lifespan on the product. The thing I wanted to bring up was the one add-on that I have, which is the lock table. I'll show a quick clip of me actually doing that when I get home. Don't want to really do it right now, but this is another reason actually that we wanted it really bad. I love that I always have a table on hand. Tables are very important, especially if you're camping, and just being able to have a really reliable and beefy table always on deck. Easy to pull out, doesn't rattle at all. It's always up there. Pretty cool. So that was another big feature of this Smartcap that I liked, was that it can have this table add-on, and that's another reason why we wanted it. But that does bring me to my next point. Another pro for the Smartcap is that you can actually do a lot of add-ons with this. This is just one of the add-ons that they have. I did the lock table add-on, and I did the crossbar add-on. Got two of them here. You can either get, there's a whole list of add-ons. I can list them on the page right now, but just to name a few, you got the actual roof rack you can put on there. You have different bins that you can have on the inside. You have a whole kitchen setup that you could add to this thing. So it's really cool. Yeah, big points on that. Feature that I wanted to bring up was it has this like positive airflow vent thing. I can't really see it right now because it's covered, but I'll try to show it real quick. Somewhere in there. I'll show a picture of it if I didn't get it there, but basically this air vent that it has on top of it allows, it's hard to explain, allows for increased airflow, and it keeps dust from getting into the topper itself. So if you have a bunch of stuff you carry in there that you don't want to get all nasty and dusty, this topper is something to look into. thing I want to talk about. And this one I think is kind of going to be based off of different people, how they feel about it. But for me, the aesthetics of this thing, I mean, I love the way it looks. I think especially for the Ford Ranger or for vehicles that are a little bit more rounded, this kind of adds some hard edges to it. So for me, when I got the truck, I knew I needed to have a Smartcap. I did not want like some topper that was, you know, not going to have the sharp edges basically. So I think huge points on the aesthetics. It just looks like a really, really well made, beefy, overland, super functional product. Another thing, the third brake light here. The rear brake light comes included. So does a wiring harness and everything. So if you wanted to wire this up, I actually don't have it wired up. I should do that. But yeah, you can wire this up and actually wire it into your brakes, and you'll have a third brake light included with it. I think for the pros, this is kind of the last thing I had for it. Where it's made, where it's built originally, I don't know if it's still there, but it was designed and built in Africa. So you can imagine what it got put through down there. I would say that's a really great place for something like this to be designed and be tested across a range of different environments. They really put it through its paces. So yeah, something coming from, usually if it's coming from Africa, it's coming from Australia, and it's geared towards outdoor off-road use, I think you can usually say it's going to be pretty reliable, or at least have a good track record. So yeah, love that it's from Africa. I know that they have a facility in Dallas now in Texas, but very cool that it's from Africa. Okay, there are a few cons though that I definitely do not like about this Smartcap that I want to highlight, make sure that we talk about as well. Probably the biggest one that you'll see all over forums and stuff are these latches, and that is that these latches, and it snows heavy or if it gets really cold and it's wet, they will freeze. It gets water in there. They're not designed to, I guess, keep water out very well.
Ice.
Water gets inside of them. You cannot open these if they're
These do not open.
It's a pain in the butt to open these. This side where it's melted, where the sun's been hitting it, no problem. Probably this side too. Yep. No problem. So yeah, you can imagine if your hands are already cold, you're trying to open this thing, it's a pain. So I've had to use hot water, which will, and again, freeze later on. I've had to use de-icer, all kinds of different things, just bang on it. So when it's cold, super annoying. You cannot get these things open. Sometimes they open just fine. Most of the time though, they will give you some problems. So something to consider. One thing to note, I think Smartcap, I'm not sure, I'll double check on this on their website, but they definitely do sell covers for these now. So you can actually get a rubber cover that will cover them. I guess that's cool. Not my favorite add-on, but something to keep the snow out. So I think in the winter I might start adding those onto it. Winter's almost over. It's pretty much spring now, so even though it feels super cold, yeah, it's almost spring, so I'm not really worried about it now, but definitely something to consider. And probably my biggest gripe is that these things freeze. I need to double check, but another con I believe would be, and could be, depends on how you look at it, but because of the steel construction of everything, this is a heavier unit than you would get with a fiberglass unit. Now, I'm not sure if that holds true if it's a fiberglass unit and it has all the, you know, the roof rack on top of it and it has the windows and all those things. I'm not sure if that's still the same, but I would imagine fiberglass is going to be lighter than an all steel construction. So you're, you know, of course you're getting an all steel construction, you're getting a really beefy product, you're getting a really well built and durable topper, but yeah, it comes at a little bit of a cost. So, but yeah, if you're trying to save weight, definitely don't recommend this one over some of the other fiberglass options. If all you're trying to do is have something to cover your things inside the back of the truck. The thing about the topper that probably will steer a lot of people away, which I've seen, I actually have a friend that has a Ranger, and main reason he didn't get it was because of this, and that is the price. For if you're not really avid overlander or really into putting your truck through its paces, I don't think you're going to want this product because it is not cheap. I think base price it's like $44,250 from what I remember. So that's just the topper. I added the table, I added the crossbars. I'm pretty sure it was closer to 5,000 after everything, tax and everything like that. So yeah, that can be a pain. So it's an investment for sure. I think for me, it's definitely held its value, and it's been worth it. It's been a great investment for our family. Again, we use it all the time, so I know it's a really well-made product. And yeah, I think that's something that would deter a lot of people, is the price. I think you could get a fiberglass topper that can hold a rooftop tent or something heavy on top for probably $2,000 less than this one. So something to consider for sure is the price. Last gripe, and this is specific to mid-size trucks, and it's extremely annoying to me. The Ranger, and probably most newer mid-size trucks that this topper fits, has lighting for the back of the bed of the truck. Whenever you put this topper on there, you no longer receive that lighting in the back of the truck. So for the full-size trucks, they actually have a little gap that allows light to still come in, and so you can still take advantage of having that light for the bed. But for mid-size, for some reason, I'm not sure why, Smartcap decided they didn't care enough to make that same hole to allow light to come into the bed. And so therefore you need to think of some kind of lighting solution whenever you're in the back of the truck and actually trying to use it at night. So yeah, a lot of points docked for that one, man. I mean, I don't see why that's difficult to do for a mid-size truck, but you can do it for a full-size truck. Yep. Okay, so I got home and I realized I didn't actually show any of the features of it really in action. So I kind of wanted to do that real quick. So why don't we first go through the gull wing doors and the window and show how it works. So, pretty easy. It's got gas struts behind these. They have, you'll see when I let go, it really pushes it up pretty fast. So, you could probably get a weaker strut for that. I actually like the way it pops up like that though. I think it's really nice. And then as far as how the windows work, really simple. There's some springs in here. You pull these together, you slide it, and what's really cool is it actually has a few different positions you can put it in. So 1, 2, and 3, fully open. So 3 different positions. And then there you go. So very easy to use. I was worried about this giving out on me after using it all the time. Like I said, I think I use this almost daily. But this has been really good and it's taken up the abuse. So, and what's really cool is you can do all of this with one hand. So you can see here, there you go. So if you're trying to grabbing stuff, really nice. You can do everything with one hand, which I think is the reason why they have the struts that actually have enough power to lift the whole thing up really fast. Okay, so for the rear, same thing. One here, one here. However, this one requires you to actually lift a little bit and assist it. I'm not sure why they decided to do that, but it's easy enough. And then the table itself. So how the table works, there is a latch right here, you can see. You simply click this over, push forward, and then it drops down. And what's happening there is you can see there's a pin right here that goes into this hole right here, and that's what keeps it in place. It has like this felt padding to keep it from making a bunch of noise. But yeah, it goes up, slides back in. It's a little tough to do with one hand, and you can see the pin come through, and it is completely locked in place. It does not wobble. Really well made. So one more time, there you go, push it down, the table just slides out, nice and smooth. The table itself is just pretty straightforward. It's an aluminum table. It's kind of Evo branded. The legs are easy enough to come out, nothing special on the table. It's just a really nice table, honestly. And then yeah, back up, there we go. Yeah, the only thing I would say is I wish there was a little bit of a, I don't know, some kind of user assist feature with it, because whenever you're hanging over the truck, especially if you have a lifted truck, trying to get to this thing, it can be kind of hard to reach and pull on it because it is heavy. So that's the only gripe I have about this itself. There you go, lock. One thing I wish they did have, I don't like that they have a lock for every single corner of the doors. It would be really cool if there was just one that locked it across on each side. That would be a lot easier, because whenever you do want to lock this thing up, which I don't lock it very often, but it would be nice to be able to lock it up very easily. So maybe in the future they'll think of a cooler way to lock it, a much simpler way, because going through each of these, that's a total of 6. Not really fun to go and lock every single one of them. Then if you forget something, you got to go back, unlock all of them. It's a pain in the butt. So small little gripe. I don't lock them too often, so it doesn't really bother me too much, but I could see that being annoying for someone that needs to get in and out of it frequently. Yeah. All right, I think that covers the last part of the review that I wanted to do. Yeah, like I said, feel free to comment, leave any questions you have, if you like these reviews, or if you like the channel. Would love you to subscribe and follow along. Hopefully be doing some trips here soon, and be getting some more content out there. I'm trying to focus a little bit more on, I don't know, giving you guys content that's helpful for you guys to use versus just making content to make content. Starting to learn that's a little bit more valuable. So I might be changing it up a little bit about how I actually produce content, but yeah. Oh, one more thing I want to show you. So you can also get to this one from the side. So if you come here, grab it the same exact way it opens up. If you have a window inside your cab, you can get to it and you can actually access things inside of here from the cab. This is really nice. I don't know that it works well for like heating up the truck bed, but it might. I don't know. So if you had the truck on, you had the heater on, you were camping in the winter, it might be a cool feature. I've never really tried that though, so can't really speak to that. But it is cool that you can access the cab from here very easily. Oh, and one more thing. Disclaimer, I have the dogs in here all the time. That is my choice. And I know that it's not, some people might feel a type of way about that. For me, I've had my dogs for 7 years now. I've had them in my vehicles all the time. I've gone all over the country with them in the back of the truck. There are times you do not want to have dogs in the back of this. Definitely do not leave your dogs back here if it's super hot out. Or if it is going to be hot out and you're driving, make sure that you have all the windows open to the truck, to the cab, that they're getting all kinds of air. Next level, I would say look into getting some kind of air conditioning set up in there. Keep the dog's temperature. For us, we actually have a little temperature sensor that I added in there that I can monitor on my phone, so I know exactly how hot it is in there. And if we do drives, a lot of times you might see me driving around. And if I do drives and it's super hot out, it's for short distances. It's never for a long distance, so I don't leave him back there when it's super hot out. So especially the Bernese Mountain Dog, he burns out really fast. So disclaimer, be careful with your dogs back here. It's great for dogs, but you need to be careful with the weather. Definitely don't leave them back there when it's super cold or when it's super hot. Yeah, and I think that concludes the review. So thanks for watching, and take care. Bye.